What's going on, gang? It's your boy. What is going on, gang? It's your boy DBGTX, and I'm back with a prediction video. This is usually some of the things that I don't usually do on the channel, but I want to be more in-depth, more, consistent with the Hinokami Keppuutan as it continues to come out. That is right, because as you guys know, I am definitely covering pretty much all the bases of the new Demon Slayer PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC game that's supposed to be coming out later on this year in 2021. So today I am bringing the very first prediction video, and in this prediction video what I am going to be predicting is the character roster, who is coming, how many in total will be on the roster, and of course aiming for DLCs and such. If you guys know, CyberConnect 2 is really good at making characters and using them the best way they can with the limited action that they got for certain characters. So here's an example of what I am stating. If you've ever played Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, you will know that Kakashi has pretty much a lot of the movesets of early Naruto, like using his one-eyed Sharingan or using, the original Raikiri. But if you play with Itachi, just like that, if you know, Itachi only has one ultimate, and that ultimate is the Tsukuyomi, so on and so forth. So with that perspective being thrown into there, what I want to go ahead and do with this video is come up with an idea, a rough idea. I think would be ideally the roster amount, what characters are coming, how they're going to be pretty much played, and ultimately prediction into the DLC range as to what DLCs may or may not come. Of course, there will be characters I possibly think that will be used in a limited base. Again, like I mentioned, a la Kakashi and Itachi, which I will just toss the names out there, but I'm not really going to go ahead and break down as much as these characters that I will have on screen. But again, I will go ahead and be as specific and as detailed as possible as to why these particular characters may or may not be in the game immediately, or may not be in this particular version of Hinokami Keppuutan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this. And in that case, the very first character that we got to mention, we're going to go ahead and take out the first 5 characters that they've already listed. And to be honest, I personally believe that Hinokami Keppuutan will have ultimately base roster. And this is something that you guys may not like. Ultimately base roster, this game more than likely is going to have anywhere in the ballpark between 18 characters to 22 characters as the base roster. The reason why I state this is because this game is going to be solely based off the first and second season. More than likely, they probably are going to hold out till the second season starts coming out, and with the hype, drop the game. If not, it'll be before the second season comes out, and then they'll roll out DLC with the second season. But the base game itself is more than likely going to consist of probably somewhere in the ballpark of, like I said, 16 to 22 characters. And the first character that we're going to have to mention, we have to talk about the Demon cast characters. And the first one that we have to talk about is, of course, the twin demon that appears in episode 4, who has pretty much split himself into 3 different kind of demons. This guy has the swamp water style jutsu per se. He takes you under and pretty much decimates you, eats you, so on and so forth. He was attacking the girls, the 16-year-old girls around the feudal village. It was pretty much Tanjiro's first mission. His movesets will more than likely consist of using his quote-unquote brothers in order to attack you from different kind of range angles. I don't think he's going to be a ranged character. He's more than likely going to be an up close and personal. But what I do believe is that some of his movesets are going to consist, like the tilt move is going to consist of him showing up in front of you, basically from across the screen or something like that, by using the swamp water that he creates. His ultimate jutsu, or ultimate jutsu, of course, as you guys may know, me being stuck on the Ultimate Ninja Storm kind of vibe, his ultimate move is more than likely going to be sinking you into the swamp water, and all three of them attacking you at the same time, and ultimately dealing some massive damage on some super cold-blooded Demon Slayer style animation. Of course, Cyber Connect 2 does not miss when it comes to that. It's usually going to be the biggest two takeaways, or the biggest two moves that you'll see coming out of his arsenal. Now, the next person that we have to actually talk about is going to be Yushiro and Tomoyo. Tomoyo obviously is the Doctor Demon who's helping the main cast cure, of course, for Nezuko. She's more than likely going to be in the game, and she's probably going to be another close range character. I can maybe see her as a long range character based off the movesets that she has, because the way that she essentially used a little bit or limited screen time that she had was essentially by using her blood magic, which essentially would cover a wide range area. Only see her using kind of the blood magic to attack you, kind of like Gara-san, a la Gara-san kind of thing. I don't think that that will be the case, but who knows. On the other end, we will definitely get Yushiro, who did have a fight, did show some techniques in the fight between the Arrow Demon and Tamari Demon, and of course Nezuko versus Nezuko, Tajiro, and Yushiro. They both exhibited, I guess you could say, special blood magic techniques, like Yushiro using that invisibility, camouflage blood magic, and you of course have Lady Tomoyo who used the aroma daylight technique. But what I think that they'll end up doing is giving it its own animation. Essentially, for example, Yushiro going ahead and starting off with, like, you know, charging at you kind of thing, and then he disappears, and when he disappears, he appears in front of you and does some kind of special move or a combo. Characters that I'm thinking are going to join the fray, that are highly likely going to join the fray here, is also going to be the Spider Queen, or the mom, the Spider Mom. Point two, we're gonna have Rui, who is the last challenge that Tanjiro faced, and of course we have Spider Queen Mom, who also kind of uses threads in order to fight in long range. But I am going to say that Spider Queen, she is going to have more than likely control over dead bodies, or over some kind of puppets, or, you know, just like in the show. So that's probably what she's going to be fighting with at a long range. So I am almost 1000% guaranteed she's going to be like a puppet user. She's going to be the epitome of a puppet user in this game. But when it comes to Rui is going to be a little bit different, because his attacks are going to be more like sand attacks, almost a la Gara. But of course, it's going to differ because of the simple fact that it's like string based. So I could see him being an extended zone user in the game. And her move is probably going to be like a puppet master move, where she's going to control about like 5 different bodies, and they're all going to attack you different kind of ways, ultimately, you know, finishing you off you know, in some kind of gruesome manner. And then of course Rui, more than likely going to be kind of like a mid-range character, and is just kind of slightly extended, gives him some medium range extension, and then he can use some techniques like the tilt, where his strings more than likely can appear in front of you or attack you from across the screen if he wants to do so. His ultimate going to be the red strings that he used against Tanjiro, more than likely wrapping you up and disembodying you by pulling on it. But the other demon that I wanted to touch upon in this particular set is Father Spider. Father Spider will be a closed range character, and he is probably going to be one of the few heavy set characters that are going to be in the game. And when I say heavy set characters, what I mean is that they're going to move slower than the other cast, but more than likely are going to have higher damage input, more than likely are going to have perhaps grappling techniques in their combos, you understand what I'm saying, and such like that. So I think that he's going to be very close range. I think that his ultimately will be an animation variation of all of his screen time. So more than likely he's going to probably go ahead and grab you, punch you, deal some major damage, and pummel you, finish you off with some kind of pummeling animation. And then from that point forward, we forgot to even touch upon the Tamari and Arrow Demon, who these two in particular are essentially also going to be a little bit of both, if it makes any sense, because they can go either way in regards to long range, short range, and all that with them. But I honestly believe that both the Arrow and Tamari Demon are going to be long range characters. Arrow Demon obviously consisting of using his arrow attack. Then if you see the Tamari Demon more than likely is going to be just like Tenten, where she uses essentially weapons and keep you at a distance, just like Deidara, very similar to Deidara's attack pattern or style. I believe that the Arrow Demon will go ahead and have an ultimate move, or more than likely he hits you with all different all different angles, all different kind of things, ultimately ending you with probably, you know, the wrap that he tried to do against Tanjiro with all his limbs or something like that. The Tamari Demon, she is going to have either a transformation that allows her to use all of her 6 arms, or her ultimate is probably that she grows her other 4 arms, and then she attacks you with her Tamaris, doing combination and whatnot, and then at the end of the animation her arms grow back in. Her side, the other demon that I also want to touch on this particular end is of course the Suzumi Demon. That's the guy who was using he was hitting his Suzumi drums and was making the world flip. Originally I thought that this guy would work like the flute ninja from the Ultimate Ninja Storm, the sound ninja, the one that uses the flute. But to be honest, the more and more I think about it, I think that he's going to be an up close and personal character with, of course, some of his techniques essentially world flipping, which is going to be interesting. Like, the way it's going to work is essentially like when he does his technique and hits his Suzumi drum, more than likely is going to be in the middle of a combo, and there's going to be an animation that causes the character to feel like his world is warping or flipping or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Ultimately, his ultimate will probably consist of like a teleportation style animation where he puts you like in some kind of room like his mansion, and he'll start hitting his Suzumi drums, and then that'll cause you to bounce all over the place and whatnot. I would believe that that's more than likely going to be his ultimate, but you know, they'll go ahead and make it worthwhile, of course, Cyber Connect 2 is going to deliver on that front. Those are all original animation, more than likely, because of course, like I am mentioning, half of these cast characters are limited to the first season, but a certain amount of screen time, so you have to go with what they were given. And of course, Cyber Connect 2 is also going to give you guys original Augies, original Ultimates, you know, in order to compensate for what we wouldn't normally have. Final two characters that I wish to mention here is Sanemi and Shinobu. Sanemi is, of course, the Wind Hashira, and he was shown at the end of the season where he goes ahead and, of course, quote unquote, fights with Tanjiro and attacks Nezuko. Obviously, bad guy there in a sense, quote unquote bad guy. But Shinobu is another one that, even though she did not really get any real screen time per se, they more than likely are going to give her the early Kakashi / Tsunade treatment, where Tsunade didn't really have much of a moveset either, but they used a little bit from the manga to kind of give you an insight of how she will work out with, of course, some original attacks. Only other characters that I believe from this point forward that will be added, and I'm Rengoku, who is going to be added based off the Mugen Train movie that's supposed to be coming somewhere between, I want to hope between May and July. They finally dropped the movie here in the States. That way we have pretty much additional character from the movie versus just what we got in season 1. Characters that are not going to make the cut here are going to be the other Hashiras, because this is being based off the anime and not the manga. So their Cyber Connect 2 is definitely going in the direction, or trending in the direction of what they did with the Ultimate Ninja Storm series, where they're going based off where the anime is at, not where the manga is at. That's where I want to leave this video at. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, show me some love, hit the follow, the sub, the share, and continue pushing the Demon Slayer content out there. DB is back, like always, doing this thing. Holla at the boy, and I'm out.